In Liberland, we have so-called double democracy, which is this new concept of basically corporation being in check by the people. So any decision by government, which has a corporate-like structure, can be disputed by majority of citizens, which I think is a very fairly balanced model in which the majority of people cannot make these decisions, let's give somebody more subsidies or let's get more welfare. The decisions are made by the people that really allow the country to exist in our case, but on the other hand, we give them the option, if something is against the interest of majority people, they have the option to get rid of that law. So I think that fundamentally fixes the democratic systems that we are having in the Western societies today. We first devised the constitution. We had roughly 4 or 5 years of a debate. We had a very Republican-like constitution, but now it's a combination of meritocracy, republic, and basically decentralized autonomous organization or decentralized autonomous government. And we merge all these things in one simple blockchain platform that makes sure that all the elections are fully transparent, that all the budgeting is transparent. So it's kind of exciting to be one of the first to launch this kind of online, let's say, upgraded democracy in next month actually already. We call it double democracy, which is kind of a standard. We are not the first ones to come up with that term, but it is a meritocracy basically as well. It is a republic with some elements of corporate governance and a little bit of element of the House of Lords also built into it. We really try to get inspiration from all these countries that made it. There is a little bit of Swiss model, that's the public veto. There is a little bit of meritocracy, that's like the successful corporate world, and a little bit of kind of history to the whole system, which comes from this House of Lords. And all these things are put in a balance, so they hopefully will create very stable and successful society. Well, I'm stepping down from running the country in an executive fashion completely as a founder. I will be only in advisory position, and Senate, which is this kind of House of Lords part of the whole story, is going to keep the control role over the Congress. And Congress is basically a very competitive management body that is put in place by people that pay taxes. And the more they pay taxes, the more they have the say in who is going to sit in that body. What cannot happen in Liberland is that the corporation that is at the core of the decision making would go against the majority's will. And that is the time when one person, one vote counts. And I think that's the only reasonable place to have that structure. Well, I was one of the very outspoken critics of the difference between environmental protection and the global warming ideology. I was one of the few people that was writing consistently about the negative aspects of biofuels and how they are not saving us from global warming, but creating enormous environmental and basically genocidal results. There's 100 million people basically indirectly died because of the hunger that biofuel madness has created. And that's why, even though it's not a very diplomatic topic and not too many people want to talk about it, I think humanity should learn from these lessons and be very careful about misusing different so-called environmental movements and really looking how useful are they for the environment and for the people. So these things like the biofuels don't happen again. We're trying to be as environmentally friendly. One of the aspects of Liberland was that the first winner of the architectural competition was a lady from Dubai that designed the country running completely on algae, which I didn't even know it's possible, but I learned it's amazing concept where you can really solve most of the needs of a country simply by focusing on algae. We want to make sure that basically people discuss with one another before deploying different structures like sewage and things. Everything should be put first in a metaverse, so there is some sort of pre-planning of our construction. And I think because Liberlanders are on average fairly wealthy people, that they will also deeply care about the environment and make sure that since Liberland is actually built in the middle of national reserve, that we're not going to help the environment, we're actually going to help it from some aspects. This is one of the top conferences of the Western thinkers in the areas of private governance. I'm always excited to visit. I made my stay in Dubai a couple of days shorter because I felt it's important to be here. It is also my hometown here in Prague, so I feel at home, and I think Prague is a great center for spreading these ideas. Cliff under cliff is our motto. We believe that starting from scratch is the best way how to inflict political change in the society, and it might sound strange, but actually starting a new country might be easier than fixing an existing one.